Charles, I've had enough here, so please leave now. I can't handle more time with your family. We should find our own place. Both of us have good jobs, so we don't need to worry about rent, right?
No, we're not leaving yet. I made promises to my dad and that old lady. They wanted us to live here.
Charles, they're not keeping their promises. We haven't done anything, and they're already pushing limits. Weren't they supposed to help with chores and cooking on weekends, so we could have some time off?
Well, they're getting old now, and they're used to having weekends off.
You can just say they're lazy, and that's the truth. I wouldn't mind if they don't want to help, but they always complain about me. Instead of wasting their energy on complaining about everything, they could spend it on doing some housework. The food is really disgusting, and the cleanliness is inadequate. I find the bathtub to be excessively hot.
I told you to make the water hot when filling their tub. They could catch a cold going into a bath they expect to be hot but is freezing cold.
It's not cold at all when I fill it. Just because the water cools off a bit by the time they get in doesn't mean it's my fault.
I understand, but you'll have to ignore what they say and keep doing your best.
Great job, Charles. Before we got married, you had to take care of them all by yourself, right?
After all, I am their son. I was left with no options.
But for me, I had to work a full-time job, come back to clean, do laundry, cook, and take Dad out to visit his friend and read to Mom because she can't see well.
That's what most people do for their aging parents, right?
I'm sure some people would help their parents like that. Even I plan to help my parents when they're old, but doing it while they constantly criticize you, I can't deal with that. It seems as though they didn't know that our presence and labor were the reason they could maintain their home.
Anyway, they helped me win awards from the city. Without that, I wouldn't be obligated to be here.
Compared to your dad, you're better.
I got it. But they helped me back then, so I can't complain about anything.
Keep in mind that he no longer even gives a damn about how you feel. He only helped you get nominated and ultimately win because he wanted to show off you as his trophy. His kindness was fake.
By the way, Sophia will be coming back home soon, so I have to do my best. Can't let her see all of this, so just ignore my parents' complaints.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. Before giving birth, she would like to return here and get treatment. I remembered I told you before, didn't I?
No. This is the first time you mentioned this.
I can't stress this enough because of this. If we leave now, it'll only get worse here. Furthermore, I don't want her to return to a completely messy house. That'll stress her out and might harm the baby.
That is the worst possible situation. This house will become a living hell with her around. Why are you still putting up with this family when they've barely done anything for you?
Well, because they're my family. I'm sorry for making you go through this whole mess.
No, it's whatever. You have a will of your own, and we can find some way to put up with them.
Thank you for understanding that. Spend the rest of the night off for me, okay?
A few days later.
Hey, Grace. It's been a while since we texted each other. Right? I am Sophia. I've returned home so you can all take care of me and my kid.
Oh, Sophia, hope your travels went okay. It has been a while, isn't it? It's very uncommon to see you these days because you've been away for such a long time. I had thought about stopping by and seeing you all a few times.
By the way, Grace, why both of you have had a baby yet?
Huh, that's,
I assumed that you may be infertile. I am so sorry to hear that. Your little sister-in-law is going to have kids before you.
No, I'm not really worried about it. We're not too keen on having children anyhow, both your brother and I.
Huh? But if you don't have any kids, what will you do?
What do you mean by that? I'm not going to do anything different from what I do now. I'll continue enjoying my life with Charles as we grow older.
A marriage with someone who can't have kids is boring though, right? I have seen on the internet that couples without kids end up getting divorced.
You're better off not believing everything you read on the internet. Most couples get married for each other's company throughout their lives, not just for kids.
I know that, but it must sting to know that you're not able to conceive, even if that is how you choose to look at it.
Hold on. Saying something like that isn't relevant to your return home. You're being impolite.
Oh, come on. This has a lot to do with me coming home. You're making things worse for yourself, don't you? Since you still can't have children and you have no intention of changing that.
I am.
I mean, you're giving a negative aura. And I wouldn't want that affecting me negatively.
We haven't been ready to have a baby right now. Charles and I are too busy working to spend time caring for and raising children. We're enjoying our life now, and I'm happy for that. By the way, stating things like that is a little insensitive of you after we haven't spoken for so long.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just being honest. Since you seem to have a negative vibe, I really think that being near you in my parents' house would not be the best idea.
What are you attempting to imply about me?
Well, you have been married to Charles for 3 years now and still haven't had a baby.
Do you not feel like your mind has become dark ever since you were married, Sophia? Before marriage, you were already acting pretty disgustingly, but now you're just a jerk.
What? Do you have something you want to complain about regarding me?
I do? You've been gone for a while, and now you're back, insulting me in the most offensive ways possible. Have you become that cranky after getting pregnant?
No, I just know that I'm better than you. Remember, the house you're living in is my parents' house, right? You should be grateful that we let you stay there. You have no say in the family order. You got it.
I'm being allowed to live here?
Yeah, you were right. Thank goodness you were able to marry my brother. But I don't believe I support your marriage, as this little sister. I bet he feels the same way. You're nothing but a heavy burden that he has to drag along with him wherever he goes. It's possible that he's still getting to you, in which case I would have to say it's disgusting that you two are still living with my parents.
Don't you just say whatever comes to your mind? Really, why must Charles have such a complicated family? You've done a terrific job locking your brother here and forcing him to do all the work, you and your evil parents.
Please stop saying negative things about my family. You have no right to do so.
No, well, honestly, I'd say I'm just stating the facts about all of you. I've been criticized multiple times, and my life in your parents' house has been filled with negative talk about me.
Listen, Grace. I don't mind you trying to look down on me, but when you start disparaging my parents, that's where I draw the line. I've had enough. You and my brother are just hindrances now, so both of you need to leave that house.
Oh, you're truly okay with the two of us going?
Of course I am, Grace. We won't have to suffer much longer with you two gone. Furthermore, it makes it more difficult for me to have children when there are a couple in the house who are not yet parents.
Please hurry and leave my house. I'm worried I'll get sick from you.
Really? Thanks to you? That's what I desire for.
Stop trying to act all strong about it.
And of course, we'll be cutting ties with you. So don't come around me ever again.
Oh, you want to sever ties with me? And not just you, but your mom and dad as well.
Of course.
If you ever come in front of my parents or me after this, I will never forgive you. Make sure Charles leaves the house as well. I don't give a damn about him.
Really? This is the perfect scenario for me. Well, I'll be taking you up on your wish right now.
Hurry up and get lost.
A few days later.
Hey, what's going on with this house?
Oh, Sophia, this is not good. We're strangers now. Did you forget about that?
No, wait a second. Can you come back, Grace? Right now, the entire house is in chaos.
Chaos? What do you mean?
Mom and Dad are making me do all the chores here. And they didn't even serve any kind of food for me. I can't even get around the house without stepping on garbage. I've never seen them both so lazy, and it's disgusting.
Did you just notice that? They've been like that for years and years now.
Why? When I was still living with them, everything seemed fine.
No, they were never fine, even back then. Charles was the one handling all the cooking and cleaning in the house for everyone.
Huh? What do you mean?
Initially, he was their only child, so they made him do all the chores. But even when you came, they didn't ask you to help him. Even after you left, they still treated him like that. And when I married him, I had to join him in taking care of them. Charles never complained because he was raised to believe it was his duty as their son.
Is that so? I didn't see any of this when I came home. Now that I think about it, Mom and Dad always stayed on these couches.
That's why we are so grateful to you for freeing us from that house. I always wanted to leave, but Charles was too trapped to leave. But you told us to go so quickly. He didn't have time to doubt himself.
I can't believe Charles throwing all his family away and running off. Did you threaten him to leave with you? What are you planning?
Huh? Wait, you're the one that told us to leave, right?
But I'm saying he's stabbing all of us in the back right now.
I didn't think we leaving was going to be similar to backstabbing you all or anything. I'm sorry, but we have a new place to live now. I can't come back to you guys.
I had no idea my parents' house had become such a mess.
So please come home and help me.
Wait, we're strangers to all of you now, right? We don't need to come back and help anymore.
Hey, I said that a few days ago, okay? I didn't mean to be so selfish, so please come back and help me.
It doesn't matter if you meant it or not. I know who your true nature. Do you regret kicking us out of there? Well, I guess you can't help being like that when you grew up with those two kids who raised you.
What? Are you insulting my family again?
What? I'm telling the truth, you know. Oh, I shouldn't do that, right?
You don't think you can treat us badly after what we've done for you, do you? We let you live with my brother in this house, so doing all the work here was just part of being his wife. Now come back home.
You're crazy right now. Just know that I don't care what happens over there anymore.
You must regret for what you did to me.
30 minutes later. By the way, are you going to be okay with that loan?
Loan? What loan?
Yeah, you have to pay $1,000 every month for it. We've been paying it for a while, but can you handle it now?
What? What are you saying? This house isn't my mom and dad's?
They own it, but they expanded it to let me move in. So they have a loan that needs to be paid for a few more years.
I didn't know that. Wait, what am I supposed to do about it? I mean, we have cut all ties now, right?
Sorry you have to deal with that, but you brought it on yourself.
Hold on, Grace. Next time, I'll make a greater effort to avoid embarrassing myself, okay?
Now go and enjoy the house with Mom and Dad.
No. Wait for me, Grace. I can't afford that loan or the house, Grace. I'm pregnant. What am I going to do about this?
Well, if that's an issue for you, why don't you ask your husband for help?
I divorced my husband.
Oh, are you serious? Why did you do that?
We divorced a few months ago. He and I are over and I have no place to go back to. That's why I have to live with my parents again. But not when it's this bad here.
Huh. Don't say you cheated on him or something.
What makes you say that?
Charles had your husband's number, and he talked to him a while ago. And he said you've been lying to him to take his money.
You're really a scum.
Oh, no,
I do intend to repay him. I just plan to return to Mom and Dad's house first to save some money.
So please, come back here.
I'm sorry, but no. I'd be concerned that if you come back to live there, you might catch germs or something from me. After that, Sophia had to pay the loan for the house. Her parents needed her to pay for the house since they had no other income. Therefore, they didn't permit Sophia to leave the house. Because Sophia and her parents did not have enough money to repay the debt, they were forced to leave that house. In addition, Sophia also had to face her ex, who took their baby from her after she gave birth. I didn't care about Sophia and her parents, but I felt a little sorry for the baby, so I was glad it was taken away. They became homeless after all and left the city to an unknown place. Charles tried to contact them because he was worried about them, but they couldn't afford their phone bills, so he couldn't reach them. However, they showed up on the news after they were arrested. They had tried to steal from some shops, and they were caught. Sophia and her parents are sentenced to prison for 6 months.
Before Charles could do anything, I told him it was nice to see his family doing well together in prison.
I knew it would be hard for him to live without them, but I also knew that they were bad for us, and it was better this way.
Hey, Ariel. Did you finally make something delicious for dinner tonight? Don't think I'll allow you get away with serving slop like you did yesterday. I'm starving.
Yes, sweetie. I made an effort to create something I thought you might enjoy. I tried to tell you, but I was too preoccupied with work yesterday to prepare a nice meal for you.
What? You have a job? Ha ha ha. But seriously, Ariel, let's stop with the jokes. Wasn't it you who came to me and asked if there was anything you could do around the house?
Do you know that I run my business out of our house, honey? While I'm here, I work virtually every day. I've tried so many times to explain it to you, but you never seem to listen. Before we got married, you were so amazing at listening to what I had to say. But now that we're married, it's as if you don't hear anything I say. You're not gonna learn anything, are you?
What on earth are you talking about? Could you please stop talking for a moment? Okay, I'm quite aware of your adorable business, but don't go claiming that what you do is anything resembling a legitimate job like mine, okay? And definitely don't try to use that as an excuse to avoid doing your tasks. You stated you wanted to be a housewife, and now you're attempting to avoid your responsibilities. Now let's talk about dinner.
Yes, it is. I work from home and spend more time here than you, but I don't think it's fair to imply I don't have a genuine job. I believe I earn a reasonable wage for us. Dylan, I guess you're the only one among us who thinks I signed up to be a housewife.
I'd had enough of these excuses. Did you really believe you'd be able to marry and be someone's wife without being expected to do housework as well? It's part of the deal.
You are aware that we split all of our expenses 50-50, right? So I'm not sure where you got the idea that you could delegate all of the housework to me while I was working. At the absolute least, I'd like to think you'll be more understanding when I tell you I don't have time to make anything for us for supper. There are times when I'm too busy to do anything, okay?
Let's get this straight, okay? Do you comprehend that I go to work every day? So I just don't have time to take care of stuff around the house.
And please understand that I work every day. And just because I work from home does not make it any less important than the work you do.
You just can't get off your high horse, can you? Just shut up already. Hurry up and start making dinner. If it tastes as horrible as it did yesterday, you're in for a treat.
So whether you think it's good or bad isn't really up to me, is it? But do you really believe I'm going out of my way to make bad-tasting dinners for you?
Did you consider that you might just be a terrible cook? You only appear to be excellent at talking back and making excuses. You realize all you do is laze around the house being worthless while running your mouth. You truly are a useless, worthless wife.
I'm not trying to argue with you, Dylan, but I truly believe that my employment from home is legitimate.
So you don't think you need to make any changes? You're just going to sit there and moan about bullshit to me?
But you're the one who's been whining about it all. I believe you should take a step back and attempt to gain some perspective on all of this. I'm still doing and have been doing all of the chores around here. If all you have to say about what I do is complain, why don't you try cooking anything sometime?
Oh, you have a lot of guts to respond to me like that, don't you? You should know that I also live in that house. If that's what you mean by getting the housework done, I think you should take a step back and reconsider.
That is my point. You are the one that is upset over everything, not I. Anyway, I completed dinner. It'll be ready for you when you come home. So, you don't have to worry about it. So, at the very least, you don't have to be concerned about that.
I promise I'll kick you out of the house if you're sloppy again. Ariel, I am almost there. My mother and father both worked, and my mother never grumbled about making sure the cooking was done correctly every day. She was the ideal wife. And then there's you, who can't seem to get anything right. You should strive to learn from her. She was a wonderful lady.
You are aware that your mother and I are not the same person, aren't you? Since your parents were children, times have changed. Are all of these details fresh to you? In any event, I really don't appreciate being compared to your mother.
Wow, simply wow. There's nothing I can do to aid you, Ariel. And to be honest, I don't think you have the strength to pull yourself together and learn the housekeeping skills you should already have. I mean, the very least you could learn to do is cook some stuff that is at least edible.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to say anything else.
Several days later.
Hello, Ariel. I'm just texting to check that we can still come over to your place next Wednesday. I was wondering if there was a time that would work for me to swing by briefly. It's not too much of a hassle for you, darling.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry, but I have a meeting on Wednesday. I'm attending an online meeting, but I'm not sure how it will conclude.
Oh, you've had a meeting? That's correct. Do you have a job, Ariel?
That's correct. I'm now working from home. To be honest, I work more than 40 hours most weeks.
Is that right? I don't think I knew that. Dylan always said you were a full-time homemaker. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I think I misread the situation.
No. To be honest, I don't believe it's your fault. Dylan is aware that I work from home. Most of the time, however, it appears that he simply cannot believe that I do. I suppose he just doesn't get the concept of working from home.
Oh, I see. But, sweetheart, shouldn't your husband be aware of your occupation? I sincerely apologize if my son said something that irritated you.
No. Rosie, you don't apologize for this. Please trust me when I say that I adore you. You and your husband both worked while you took care of the chores and cooking. You're also parenting 3 sons. It's very wonderful.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little perplexed.
The thing is, I never worked again after I got married.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, but there's something else I'd like to ask you in that case. Would you mind if I asked you about it later?
Several days later.
I'm not sure I believe you right now. So where do you get off? It's pathetic if this is what you call being a housewife. You can't really do anything right now, can you?
Dylan, do you have another problem about dinner? Besides, are you really a nice husband if you lose your temperature wife for such selfish reasons?
I'm sick of your foolishness, Ariel. What if you just don't do anything? How does it sound to sit around the house doing nothing?
What? Are you certain that's what you want from me?
Sure I am. You're such a useless woman. You're just a jerk who can't even do the fundamental necessities of housekeeping. How can you call yourself a housewife when your cooking is this bad? Just hurry up and start cooking dinner. If it tastes as horrible as it did yesterday, you're in for a treat.
Okay, good. I'm not going to do anything.
Wait, what? And what exactly do you mean?
That's exactly what I meant. I heard what you said and intend to follow through on it. Anyway, best of luck and work.
That night.
Hey, what kind of silly little game do you think you're playing right now? And where did you flee to? Are you serious about doing nothing?
Of course, I'm serious.
You've got a lot of guts, don't you? So you're not going to cook anything, clean the toilet, or do any laundry? And you thought I, your husband, would be fine with all of this?
Yes. Of course. Isn't this just what you requested this morning? I'm merely doing what you ordered me to do. Nothing.
You really don't understand it, do you? I don't think I've ever met somebody with such an ability to irritate me. That truly elevates you.
In any case, all you do is get furious and frustrated with me. Don't you think you should just give up at this point? Also, you also stink.
What game do you believe you're playing here? Are you trying to see how far you can irritate me? And how am I meant to live in this place if things are going to be this bad?
That is not my issue. I had a similar thought.
What on earth are you talking about?
I'm informing you that I've left the house. I refuse to take care of you and be forced to wait on you any longer. Do you realize how stupid you are, Dylan?
What? Please excuse me. You think I'm a moron?
You know, despite the fact that I make far more money than you, all you ever did was treat me like your obedient housewife. I don't know how many times I've had to explain it to you, but you do realize I make over $1 million per year, don't you?
You do not. I can't believe you could make so much money.
Wow, just wow. Did we really go so far as to marry, with you always thinking what I said was a joke? But, to be honest, that just goes to demonstrate how correct I was about you. Anyway, I don't really care what happens to you any longer. I want a divorce.
Wait, a divorce? Come on. Let us not be so hasty. These issues must be discussed and handled with care. What has happened to you all of a sudden? This is very unusual for you. Furthermore, are you serious about the $10,000? Do you actually make that much money?
I told you that while you were telling me how much money you make, but I know that if you were ever genuinely inquisitive about it, you could have checked it with some basic math.
I guess I just never bothered to do the math. I had no clue you were earning that much money. It's amazing.
So you're acknowledging it? That you were never interested in learning anything about your own wife? I should have known you were the type to project your own delusions of reality onto others. Well, in a million years, I would have never wanted to marry you.
What exactly are you talking about? Look, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but are you serious about getting a divorce? Just tell me where you are right now.
And why would I tell you that? I've already placed the divorce papers on the table. All you have to do is sign them and mail them.
But why? Did you truly despise being a housewife?
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not a housewife. You just don't seem to grasp it, do you? Dylan, you need to focus on your listening skills. Speaking of which, I'm sure you had no idea your own mother stayed at home and did not work.
Wait, what?
You were always bragging about what a wonderful woman your mother was. She was often bragging about how well she worked and handled the house. So I talked to her, and she informed me that when she got married, she never worked again.
Oh, I see. Is this correct? I guess I just assumed she worked.
You mean she never sat you down and explained how tough it would be for her to raise 3 children on her own while working? She was only able to stay at home and concentrate on matters at home because of how much money your father made. That's the only way she could raise your children, feed you all, and keep the house tidy. So why don't you tell me all about the fantasy ideal that you were constantly attempting to make me follow?
Well, it's not as if I forced you to do anything. I didn't believe I was losing my cool all that much. But please accept my apologies. It was a mistake. I truly believe my mother worked, and I hope you can understand.
Dylan, you could never see, let alone understand, what was going on right in front of you.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me, Ariel?
You know, absolutely nothing about your mother or wife. Or should I say ex-wife? I don't want to see you again after this. And has your mother already apologized to me?
What? She apologized? For what? I don't get it.
She apologized for having such a useless son, and for the anguish you inflicted on me. She stated she absolutely understood why I wanted a divorce.
Did she actually say all that?
And I have to agree with her. Even if I ignored you continually criticizing my job, every day, all you did was critique the housework I'd done without ever offering to help. You were always sitting around critiquing me while drinking your beer. And it took a long time for me to realize that I no longer love you, Dylan.
No way! Of course, Ariel. You still adore me. Come on.
Actually, I think you've become a little strange. I no longer have even a speck of affection for you. Furthermore, getting rid of you will give me a lot more time to concentrate on my career. I'll finally be able to concentrate without having to worry about doing chores for some overgrown man-child.
So you're saying you don't like me now? You think I'm a man-child? I'm 35, you know?
Even at 35, you can't do the basic minimum to look after yourself. It's pitiful. You're only good at talking trash. Anyway, I'm never going back. So I hope you're having fun with the life you've created for yourself. Because I've been such a useless wife all this time, right? It's a good thing you're capable of handling everything on your own.
Wait, please wait a minute. So, who will prepare my dinner?
What? Do you want to eat? You were always complaining about every dish I made you. Do you honestly think I'd cook for you again after all this?
But Ariel, if you don't prepare me dinner. So, what should I eat now? How am I expected to go on living like this?
You're truly a pitiful excuse for a human being. For a change, why not make or buy something yourself? I realize this may be a difficult concept for you to grasp, but we're going to divorce, got it? And I'm never going to prepare you dinner again. In fact, I never want to see your face again.
I apologize, Ariel. I should not have treated you that way. Please accept my sincere apologies. However, a divorce. I believe we need to discuss this more. Will you please reconsider? I'm going to change. I guarantee it.
No, Dylan, I've made my decision. So go ahead and tell me what you still have to say. Why don't you read back through those texts and think about what you've put me through?
I will. I pledge to reflect on what I've done and make changes. And to be honest, I had no idea how much money you made. I'm going to quit my career and start helping around the house.
No, I'm afraid I'll pass on that.
But why?
You can't even pick what to have for supper. What makes you believe you'd be useful around the house? Dylan, I already know you're all talk. Anyway, why don't we just call it quits? Just sign the paperwork, okay? If you don't, I'll hire a lawyer. And the whole affair will become even more expensive.
You're so cruel.
Bye. What if you attempted producing your own foul food?
After that, Dylan was in a rough position when Ariel requested a divorce. He immediately changed his mind after learning how much she made. He pleaded and begged her not to leave him, but she refused. Dylan never heard from Ariel after that. Even his mother supported Ariel during the divorce. He had no idea how much anguish he had caused Ariel. It wasn't until after the divorce that he recognized how thoughtful she'd been. He now realized how inconsiderate he was being to her. However, it was far too late by then. Meanwhile, Ariel is enjoying her single life while her savings grow.
God. It's been such a crazy day. I just finished talking about the inheritance and completely exhausted. You know what? I think I'll stay at my parents' place today. I just don't have the energy. I want to stay here a bit and help Mom clear away some of Dad's stuff before coming back home. I'm sure you'll understand, right? It might take a while though. Dad left behind so much stuff I probably won't be back until tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I'm sure you're totally exhausted. No worries. How did everything go?
How did what?
You're talking about the inheritance. Yeah, the inheritance. What's the verdict? How much did your dad leave you? Surely, you'll be getting left quite a bit, right?
He left behind an apartment and a house. They're both quite old and we can do some renovation. But I have been told that in total, together they're worth around $400,000. It is quite good, right?
Wow, $400K bucks. So what's the plan? What are you gonna do? You are gonna sell them, right?
No, I'm not going to do anything with them. As long as my mom is still around, I don't plan on touching any of it. I want to make sure that there's enough money if anything happens down the line. I don't want to do anything drastic now that I might regret later. Plus, both places are being rented out to people at the moment.
Wait, what? So basically what you're saying is you won't be getting any money?
Yeah. I mean, now is just not the right time to do anything with them. In fact, it's the opposite. Looks like we'll have to pay some tax on them. I'm not sure how it all works, so I speak with my mom and probably sort something out. No doubt. We'll leave that to the professionals.
What? Are you being serious? I'm expecting we can get some money at least. Do you remember I told you that we maybe go on a vacation? What you told really let me down.
What? What are you talking about? I don't get your attitude. Is that amount really important to you? How you could say something like that in after my dad passed away? Can't believe you can talk about money at this time?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. But I mean it was like a month ago now. I thought that maybe you'd gotten over it by now.
Yeah, I am dealing with it a bit better now, but it's not something I can just forget and get over so quickly. These things take time and he was my dad, it's not a stranger. But saying you were getting excited about my dad's inheritance is kind of hurtful.
Oh, come on, Viv. I said I'm sorry. It's just my first time dealing with inheritance and stuff like that.
Anyway, the inheritance is not coming in the form of cash anytime soon. So don't get your hope up. It may come under my name, but just think of it as my mom's, okay?
Fine, I understand that.
Thinking about it though, we might be okay to go on vacation. After Mom's finished clearing things up, she was talking about maybe going somewhere together.
Oh really? That's great. Where were you thinking? We're definitely going abroad, right?
I'd like to leave it down to my mom. I want to make sure that it's somewhere she would feel comfortable going. So I'll wait instead of just choosing somewhere without speaking to her first.
If we were going abroad, I was thinking of learning the local language beforehand. What do you think about me bringing my parents too? It's not often an opportunity like this comes about. So why don't we all go and enjoy a vacation together as a family?
It's nice and all, but seeing as it will be my mom paying for it all, I think we can only afford to bring you along. I don't really want to make my mom pay for everything.
Come on, Vivian, I'm sure you can do something to convince her. We'll make sure you guys have a great time. If anything, it'll make you feel better.
My mom has been through a lot recently. I really don't want to cause a fuss.
It's about time I started doing something for my parents, and this vacation will be just the thing. I know they'd really appreciate it if I took them on vacation somewhere.
If that's the case, then shouldn't you be paying for them? If you want your parents to be truly grateful, surely it means more coming from you.
You know I don't have any money. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking you.
It's not something so pushy about. If you want to do something for your parents, I guess I can try save some money to help out. You can send your parents to an all-inclusive resort or something as a present from us. I think they would be much happier if we paid to take them somewhere. We're both working, so I'm sure we'd save the money up in no time anyway. I think your parents wouldn't be happy about making my mom pay for everything.
My parents don't really care about whose money it is.
Honestly, I don't think it's right to ask my mom to pay for everyone to go on vacation. I think at the very least, we should pay for your parents to come along. Not my mom.
Thinking about it, if you inherited about $400K, then surely your mom got even more, right? So your mom will definitely be fine with taking everyone on vacation. I'm sure of that.
That's not really for you to decide though.
Anyway, just ask her and see what she says. Fine.
Fine, but don't have any expectations. Also, don't tell anybody about the inheritance, okay?
Vivian, you know that I'm not that type of person.
You start attracting attention from the wrong sort of people when you talk about money. Owen, where are you now? We need to talk.
I'm here, Viv.
I want to ask you something. I just got a phone call from your parents. They asked me about my inheritance from my dad.
What? Why would they call you about the inheritance?
Why did you tell them about the inheritance? I thought I asked you not to say anything. Don't you forget that you promised me you wouldn't say anything to anyone?
Well, they're my parents though. I thought it'd be okay. I mean, sharing everything with family wouldn't be a problem.
I don't really want you talking about the money. I'm pretty sure I told you not to think of the inheritance as mine. It's my mom's.
But I mean, in reality, you are the one who inherited it.
Even if that's the case, I told you I had no plans to do anything with it right now. Did you tell that part to your parents? They asked me whether they could live in either the apartment or the house.
I guess it's because my parents' house is pretty old at this point. If you were willing to rent out one of the places to my parents, I know that they'd be pretty happy.
I already told you, didn't I? The places that my dad left me are already being rented out to people. I told you that there are already people living in those places, so I can't sell or rent them out to anyone else.
Well, you became the landlord, right? So that means you can kick them out whenever you want.
Are you being serious? They have a contract. I can't just go kicking people out whenever I want to. These people are paying their rent. I can't just ask them to pack up and leave.
They're just strangers to you, right? You shouldn't have to worry about people you don't know. It's not like they've ever done anything for you.
Not done anything for me? Those strangers are providing us with income? How can you say things like that? And what's up with your parents lately? After telling them I can't rent any of the places to them, then they ask me if I could help them out with money.
My parents have been telling me that they want to move out as soon as possible. You sure there isn't anything you can do for them?
I can't do anything for them. I don't have that sort of money to be lending or helping.
Of course you do. You just inherited $400,000 and you could just sell one of the two places.
Are you even paying attention to anything I'm telling you? How many times do I have to repeat myself?
It's just that my parents need a little help. I would have thought that you'd be willing to lend them a hand, having come into a bit of cash and all. I'm sure you can spare a bit.
I get that, I really do now. The fact that you talking to them about my inheritance and all this money I have is wrong. I can't sell the properties. There won't be any money here. On top of that, I can't rent any of the properties out to them and I don't have any money to lend. Don't make me say it again.
Like I said, just sell one or both of the properties. I don't see what the big deal. If you do that, then not only will we have some money for ourselves, but we'd be able to help my parents out. Am I wrong?
Why are you even trying to use the inheritance my dad left to me? Your parents have their own house. Surely, there is something they can do. These properties my dad left aren't even new.
But they're still newer than the one my parents live in. If you can't rent the properties out to them, at least help them with some money. I'm sure that you're able to do that for them.
Forget it. I've had enough of talking about this.
Come on. Don't be like that. We're just talking.
I have enough of you and your parents. You guys are trying to get what you want and do whatever you like.
Yeah, how's that?
If I hadn't gotten any inheritance, we wouldn't have had any of these conversations in the first place, right? If they were really in need of some financial aid, I'm sure they would have said something a long time ago.
But things are different if you compare back then to now. Now we are sitting on such a big amount.
We don't have, nor can we use that money. Can you not get that through that thick skull of yours?
Stop being so cheap. Even your mom said she would take my parents on vacation. There's no point in talking it out with you. If you want to help out, then I'll go and ask your mom straight.
Are you being serious right now? You really think you're gonna go and ask my mom?
What other choice do I have? I never thought that you'd be so greedy and keep all the money to yourself. I just want to try and do something good for my parents after all that they've done for me. But you are trying to hog all the money. If it's gonna be like this, I gotta think, what's the point in being married?
What are you even talking about?
Forget it. I won't be expecting anything from you.
Hey Owen. You better stop going to my mom's and pestering her. On top of that, stop calling her.
Sorry about that, Vivian. My parents are so desperate to move out.
It's one thing to demand money from me, but trying to get money from my mom is going way too far. She's having a much harder time than I am with the fact that my dad is no longer there. Don't you get it? How can you and your parents keep doing something like this to her?
When you think about it, your dad, who can't be here with us anymore, it probably would have wanted you to spend that money on my parents. In fact, I'm sure he'd be happy to. The best way to spend that money would be to help people out.
That is for the person who has the money to decide, not for you to decide for them. The only way I see this is you and your parents are just pestering us for money.
Pestering for money? You got some nerve coming out with something like that.
I've got some nerve? It's me who should be saying that to you. I'm constantly getting calls from your parents while I'm at work. Only to then have them come over during the week just so they can pester us into helping them with money. All I get day in and day out is you guys talking about the inheritance. Even with all that, you've all recently decided to go and pester my mom. I've just had enough.
I think you're over-exaggerating a bit.
I don't think I can deal with this or you anymore. I've been thinking about it a lot recently.
What? You mean you want to split up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Do you know what your parents are saying to me? They started shouting abuse at me, calling me all sorts of things like a money-grabbing rat. And you are agreeing to everything they do and say.
That's because it's the truth.
You going so far as to harass us because I said we couldn't give you any money. I know it was you who called my work and getting me to come to the phone only to hang up as soon as I get there. Even stooping so low is to the point you're throwing dog at my car. I bet that was your appearance, wasn't it? I hate to it, but I don't want to have anything to do with those kinds of people. I want a divorce.
A divorce? To be honest, that doesn't sound like such a bad idea. It's not like I want to get involved with a dirty money-grabbing woman like you anyways. Maybe I'll find myself someone much younger. Someone who will take care of my parents and be willing to help them out.
Well, you're ready to get on with this divorce then.
Yeah, sounds good to me. In returns, you will have to split the properties with me anyway. I can get away from this greedy money-grabbing psycho woman. Just in case you don't know, I'm not missing out on even 1 cent.
Yeah, I'll start getting everything ready for the divorce. Just make sure there's no messing about. I'll be sure to speak to some lawyers to make sure everything gets done properly.
You're quick to lawyer up.
I'm saying it one last time. Stay away from my mom and don't ever call her or try to in contact with her again. Understand? If anything happens from here on out, I'll report everything as harassment to the police.
Don't worry about that. I just want to hurry up and get this divorce over with. I think you need to move it and start getting things ready. Viv, we need to talk.
What?
About the meeting before the divorce.
Yeah, so what? You don't want to come?
No, I mean, my parents will be sitting in on it.
Right, whatever.
By the way, I heard the house you inherited burnt down. I guess this is what you get for being so greedy with your money. I guess somebody out there is taking notes of your wrongdoings. Maybe you will have learned your lesson from this and it'll teach you how to treat others with respect in the future.
This is very rich coming from your mouth. You do realize that everything was caught on CCTV, right?
What are you talking about? What was caught on where?
CCTV closed-circuit television, you know that? You and your parents are all caught in the video setting fire to the house. It's so clear.
Wait, what?
Looks like you guys are finished. Here you are running your mouth like you've done nothing wrong.
Are you being serious right now? I am sure there were no cameras around.
Wow, did you really just admit that? The guy who rents it out from us told us as soon as everything happened. Not only did you set fire to the place, but before all that you even harassed tenant who lives there. Because of that the cameras were installed just in case anything happened. You're just rotten to the core. I would have never believed you'd be capable of something like this. Did it ever go through your mind what you would have done had the person who lived there died?
That's why we tried to make sure we did it when there was no one at home.
How would you even know that? Someone could have easily entered that house or come home without you guys ever even noticing.
So you mean you'd report this case to the police, right?
The fact that you knew the house went up in flames surely means you know the police and the fire department were also there. To answer your question, of course, I handed all the videos to the police.
You really did that? You know we only did it as like a sort of a small prank. We didn't mean to cause any harm or anything.
What? How is that a prank?
But we didn't mean it. That should count for something. Are you trying to say that we're gonna get locked up?
Isn't it obvious at this point? Don't you realize the weight of the crime that you committed? It's a criminal offense and straight jail time.
Come on, what we did wasn't that serious. We were just trying to get you shaken up a little bit. Like, get back at you and nothing serious. That house you were given is close to the station. It was also in a prime location. So, we thought that if we could get the tenant renting from you to move out. Then I thought that maybe you might consider lending it to us.
I will never rent that place out to you. Wouldn't make any sense to since you'll be going to jail soon.
What should I do? What do you want me to do? Just say it. I'm sorry for what I did. Really, I'm sorry, Viv.
You guys have crossed a line. You shouldn't have, and now there is no going back. All of you, a family of criminals.
Wait, what?
I couldn't help you anything. Also, I don't want to hear anything from you either. If you do, you can talk the policeman. So now, bye. You should look forward to the subpoena.
No, Vivian. No.
After that, Owen's whole family were caught. They stood in court and faced criminal charges sentencing them to prison. The one who faced the harshest charges was the mother-in-law who had planned it all. Until now, I just don't believe why they even dared to set fire to my house. This family's greediness is truly bottomless.
Hey, sweetheart. It's 10 o'clock. Why aren't you at home?
Hi, how's the baby doing? I'll have some work to wrap up in a few hours.
I couldn't see the doctor this morning either. Luckily, the baby is doing well now. He's sleeping.
You should take some rest, too. You must be exhausted.
So, will you be back home soon?
I'm not sure. I'm simply swamped with work. You know, the Christmas is coming, so the orders are increasing. Moreover, we also need money, considering the new expenses we'll have with the baby.
Don't put the financial matters too heavy on you, Terry. I'll return to work once my maternity leave is over.
I understand that, but this is a critical point in my career.
I just want you to spend some quality time with me and our baby.
You've become quite sensitive. Can't you see I'm doing this for us? For you and our child, so both of you can enjoy a comfortable life.
Honey, I don't want to fight with you.
Sure.
The next day. Hey, Terry!
I'm here. What's wrong?
I didn't see you this morning, but I found your clothes in the laundry. Did you get home?
Yes. I have to come to work early at the office.
Will you be back home early tonight?
I don't think so.
When will we have some quality time together with me and the baby?
When this campaign passes, I'll have more time and will be more relaxed.
I'm sure you can come home 1 hour earlier to be with me and our child.
You're making things really hard, and I don't know why you want me to be home.
Did you seriously ask me that? What's the husband for then?
You tell me.
Our son needs to have an interaction with his dad. Okay? I don't want to argue. I just want you to spend time with us.
And you will soon. Once this campaign is done, I promise.
Okay. The next morning. Hey, Lucy. Where are you now?
I'm on the way to the supermarket. What's wrong, huh?
If you have some free time, can we meet for a while?
Of course. I'll pick you up at your house, okay?
Okay. Please call me when you get there.
See you soon. Is something wrong? You look very pale. Tell me anything, 'cause I'm your sister, Mary.
Thank you, Lucy.
Now stop deflecting and answer me. Is something wrong?
I'm not sure if something's up, but it's about Terry.
Terry, your husband? What's going on?
I don't want to exaggerate things, but I think something's not right.
What do you mean?
He's acting distant, getting home late and leaving early. I hardly see him.
You think he might be, cheating?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I think he's definitely not cheating on you. Remember when, in high school, how hard it was for Terry to fight for you over Zach? Yeah, I remember. I liked Zach, but I respected your choice, Terry.
Exactly.
So why would he go through all that effort back then to cheat on you now, after all these years?
You're right. I guess I'm just making things up.
I can understand. Maybe he's just stressed at work and needs time to balance between work and family. And he might also be anxious about becoming a father.
Yeah, that could be it. Thank you for always standing by me.
You're welcome.
The next week?
Don't worry. Your baby is in very safe hands. I'll take good care of him.
I know you will. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have asked you to look after him tonight.
By the way, where are you going?
I'm going to Terry's office.
Be confident, Mary. You're a beautiful and strong woman.
Let's not make it too dramatic.
Did you check yourself in the mirror? You look beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
I'll text you later when I arrive at the office.
Okay, now off you go. Love you.
Love you too. Later that night.
Hey, Mary, did you get home? I didn't think I could meet you again.
I've got home, Zach. It's surprising, isn't it? By the way, why you were there.
My company is located in that biding. And what about you?
I was just waiting for Terry. Do you know everyone that works there?
Yeah, I have been working here for many years.
Wait, what? You were working at Meg?
Yeah, I am.
Wow, that's amazing. The Earth is really small.
That's right.
It feels like just a short while ago we were in the same high school.
Right. Time flies so fast.
How is your wife?
Well, I'm still single. It's strange, isn't it?
What? So you stayed single all this time?
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Oh no, I'm not judging you at all. I'm just surprised.
I know you're not. After graduation from university, I focused on my career and started my own business. I didn't have time for dating or marriage.
So, you are planning to get married, right?
Yeah, I think I am.
That's nice. I hope you meet someone special soon.
I hope so too.
At the weekend.
What's wrong with you, Mary?
Not at all. Why do you ask me like that?
Lately, you've been avoiding my hugs, and you turned down intimacy.
It's not about you. I'm just tired after giving birth.
It's been a month already.
It takes time for me to recover, Terry. Please be patient.
Okay, I understand.
By the way, I'll return to work. Lucy told me to work at her company.
That's great. I thought you might be feeling lonely.
Yes, exactly.
It would be nice for you to change your working environment.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't like that you're home alone all day.
I know. It's because of your heavy workload recently.
You're the best for understanding. I'll pick you up and take you to Lucy's company tomorrow.
Can you fit it into your busy schedule?
Of course, I'll always make time for my wife.
A month later. Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm good. Why are you looking for me?
Oh, I know it's sudden, but Terry and I are having a party celebrating our new baby. We want to invite you and the team to dinner. It's already started.
I see. It's short notice.
Yeah, I asked my sister to send you the invitation, but she somehow forgot it. I'm really sorry.
It's okay, Mary. It must have been hard to organize things. That's why your husband and secretary often go together these days, right?
Oh yes, this is why.
Got it. We'll be there, though I may only stay for a short time. Congratulations on your new son.
Later that night.
Mary, where are you? Why didn't you answer my phone?
I'm afraid I won't be able to keep calm when talking to you now. You think you deserve?
I want you to know she doesn't mean anything to me. We've come a long way, so let's not ruin everything over one mistake. Please, trust me, my dear.
I knew the truth about how much she means to you.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not naive, Terry. I know you've been with her since I was pregnant.
That's not true, Mary. Please listen to me at least once.
I did listen to you. Listen to the sweet words between two people in your office. It's hard to believe you were the man with whom I fell in love.
What happened to you?
Don't tell me your excuses. I already know you slept with your secretary for a short time. I was trying to sympathize with your busyness. I was trying to surprise my husband, but I ended up being the one surprised.
Whose fault is that?
You mean it was my fault? How could you say that?
You didn't want to be intimate with me.
I didn't refuse you. I had just given birth, so I need time to recover.
You were taking too long to recover. I'm a man, and I have needs, you know?
So that's why you cheated on me? What a silly reason.
You've known all along, right? It was you who sent the pictures of me and my secretary to my office. Can you imagine how crazy it would have been if someone at the office had known?
Anyway, everyone at work knows after tonight, right?
It's all because of you. My team coincidentally showed up just as Jade and I were beginning. You're quite the actress, creating a big surprise show and crying when you run out. But I want to warn you that if anyone finds out what happened, I will take you to court and try to get custody of our child. Do you understand? I know you love our son a lot, so be careful.
Don't think that you can control me. And you will lose your job soon, so get ready to face more trouble.
What does that mean?
It means you'll find out soon enough. And remember, never threaten Ben. I'd do anything to protect him. A few days later...
Do you really want to go to court for this?
My lawyer has been talking to me.
Oh, they have. I might have lost my job, but I won't lose my son.
If I were you, I would step back and try to save my reputation.
That's not going to happen, so be prepared to do your best.
On that day...
I heard about your story. Terry wants to have full custody of your son, huh?
Yes, he does.
I'm supporting you. I know this whole process has been really tough.
He really has. I hope everything goes well in court because we've done all the preparation.
You're a strong and lovely woman, and nothing can stand in your way.
Thanks, Zach. Your encouragement makes me more confident.
Anytime, Mary. If you need any assistance, call me. Would you like to get a drink after all of this is over?
I'd like that.
I'll be waiting for you outside the courtroom tomorrow.
Okay, see you there. The next day...
Mary, are you there?
Yes. What's wrong?
I think you feel sad for everything that's happened.
Stop acting as if you know me well. You didn't pay any attention to me and our son.
Mary, please try to understand from my point of view.
We're past the point of understanding.
Why don't you believe me when I say I didn't have any feelings for my secretary?
I know, but that's not important now. We're not together anymore. I have full custody of our son. You're free from our marriage. You can now start a new chapter in your life without my interference.
Oh, no. What's the point of having freedom when my reputation has been spoiled? How come I didn't know there were hidden cameras in the room?
If it weren't for that, why would I know that you and that secretary did such disgusting things?
Remember the good moments. We had those, and we can have them again, Mary.
You must still be mistaken, Terry. I'm not getting back together with you ever again.
Don't say that. Please think of our child, Ben. He needs both parents by his side.
He'll be okay when living with me. Don't worry about that. You're on your own. Good luck finding a new job. One more thing. Since I got the house, I want your belongings moved out before I return.
Let's have a conversation, please.
5 years later. My son is now 5 years old. He's a very happy and adorable child, and he brings me a lot of joy. My post-divorce life became less difficult thanks to my boy. I haven't heard from Terry for years. I'm happy that I could keep my son away from his father. But, sadly, he won't know her real dad. The secretary was also fired to protect the company's reputation since then. When Lucy found out what happened, she was really upset. However, she and Zach were always beside me and cared for me. Zach and I officially started dating 3 years ago, and it was my best decision ever. He's been so kind to my son, treating him like his own. The good news is that he proposed to me last month, and we plan to get married next month.
Hello, Ruby. I hope all is fine with you.
Hey, Alice. What is the problem? Were you in need of my assistance? Today is a busy day for me.
I'd want to ask you a question. That's all. I heard you're going to the beach with my brother Ryder on vacation.
What's that? Where did you get the information? I don't recall telling you anything about it. It's just a family vacation for our daughter and us.
I believe your daughter informed my mother. My mother later informed me about it.
So that's why you're aware of it. Emma couldn't possibly keep it a secret because she's so eager to go to the beach. I can see why she would bring it up with her grandmother. This is our first trip to the beach with her.
I can't believe you didn't invite me along. I'm your in-law's sister. You should have invited me. I'm feeling so isolated right now.
Why do you feel isolated? I don't believe we are obligated to invite you. Sorry, but Ryder and I had already chosen to take a family vacation with Emma. This is a vacation for just the three of us. We've been discussing it for quite some time.
So you don't consider me a family member? That infuriates me. I'm not sure how you can be so cruel to me.
I'm not attempting to offend you in any way. We merely arranged this trip for the three of us. We don't want anyone else to join us. We don't dislike you or anything.
When my mother found out about this, she was furious. I believe she wished to be included as well. She was ranting about how you constantly make plans without involving any of us. Do you have no feelings for your parents-in-laws?
That was never my intention. I care deeply about your parents. I believe I also include her in many of our family's plans. We try to see her at least once a month, despite the fact that it takes almost 2 hours to get there. I also drive her to the hospital whenever she needs to see a doctor. We're also the ones that foot the bill for all of the meals at family gatherings. It would be inaccurate to suggest that I don't care about my in-laws.
Everything you described is exactly what Ryder should be doing as the elder child. It's his responsibility. You chose to marry him. Regardless of the situation, you should do what you just listed. I believe you should quit behaving so arrogantly simply because you do the things you stated.
I apologize if I appeared haughty. That was never my intention. I just wanted to express how much I cared for my in-laws' parents. I am concerned about you as well.
I don't think so. If you truly believe that, I want you to demonstrate it. A beach holiday would be an excellent occasion to put your skills to the test. We would all love to join you on a beach holiday.
What exactly do you mean? Right now, I'm a little perplexed.
Stop behaving as though you have no idea what I mean. If you truly care about us, you should bring us all to the beach.
What exactly do you mean by us?
My mother and father, as well as the rest of my family. There are 5 of us.
Wait a minute. I understand why you want me to include you and your parents in our vacation plans. Why should I invite your husband and child? They are unrelated to this.
In fact, I believe my mother would be a lot happier if my entire family attended. Even when we were little, Mom and Ryder never seemed to get along. That is why I believe she would like me and my family to attend. If you invite my family, it will fix all of your problems at once.
Who is going to pay for everyone to come with us? You should know that a beach trip is not cheap.
Of course, you're going to pay. Ryder must make a lot of money, right? I can't believe you're attempting to make us pay for ourselves.
Are you serious about making us pay for all of you? Does your husband also have a full-time job? Can't you at least cover your own expenses? If necessary, I suppose we can pay for your parents.
Why don't you just pay for us all? What's the distinction between 3 and 8 people? Even with 8 people, the price will be around the same.
Did you really just ask me what the distinction is? That is nearly 3 times the number of persons. We had planned to go as just the 3 of us. I'm not even sure whether I can book hotel rooms for 5 more people. I believe the hotel is already booked. The hotel where we'll be staying is really popular. It is usually very rapidly filled.
That action is entirely up to you. Please find a solution for us.
You're being totally absurd right now. If the hotel is fully booked, there is nothing I can do.
If you really don't want us all to come, I'll tell my mother. I'll also tell her that you're not inviting us because you despise us.
That was never something I said. Please refrain from twisting my words. I just don't think it's fair to expect us to foot the bill for all 5 of you. I'm also not sure if adding 5 persons to the reservation is possible.
Stop making up excuses. If you want to get along with my family, I believe you should just listen to what I'm saying. Take us all on vacation with you and we'll be happy.
Ryder, hello. Do you have any free time today? I need to speak with you about something.
Yes, I am currently on my lunch break. I'm free to speak now. What is the problem?
I recently received text messages from your younger sister, Alice.
Is it her again? Are you all right? What did she say this time to you? Did she make another request for money?
This time, it wasn't about money. She has asked to join us on our beach holiday.
What? I can't believe she's putting that question to you. How did she know we were going on a beach vacation?
Remember last week when you went to see your parents? I believe Emma inadvertently informed your mother about it that day. Your mother most likely informed Alice later, and she is now demanding that we bring her and her family with us.
I really wanted to go on this vacation because it's just the 3 of us. If they come with us, where are they going to stay? The hotel we reserved is quite popular, so I'm sure it's already packed.
Yes, I told her, but she ignored me. She told me to come up with a solution. She's also trying to make us pay for all of them. I think there are 5 more people in all.
I'm hoping she's not serious. They're attempting to tag along and demand that we pay for everything?
That's pretty much it.
That is just not going to happen. We will not be paying for the rest of my family to join us on our holiday. This is something they always do to me. They claim that because I am the eldest son, I should be responsible for everything. My family has a significant problem.
Could you please inform Alice that they will not be able to join us on our vacation? It's difficult for me to say no to them.
That's perfectly fine. You can either rest or leave it to me. I'm so sorry that my family is being so impolite to you.
It's okay. You don't need to apologize. It's partly my responsibility for not being able to express myself clearly to them.
It's completely not your fault. My family members are simply spoiled. I'll call my mother and sister right away. I'll make it obvious to them that they cannot accompany us on this vacation. When I return home, I'll tell you what they say to me.
I apologize for causing you so much bother. Thank you very much for taking the time to accomplish this for me.
Ruby, what exactly did you do? Did you mention anything to Ryder, my brother? He just told me that we are not allowed to join you on your beach holiday. He stated that we could only accompany him if we paid for ourselves.
I'm sorry, but that's what we agreed on. I don't think we should have to pay for all 5 of you.
This is unbelievable. How did you think of this? My mother is currently enraged. She was looking forward to her trip.
I'm sorry, but you won't be able to accompany us this time. I hope you can see why we made this choice.
This decision will not be accepted by us. We will not forgive you. You should be cautious.
Hello, Ruby. Did any of my family members text you?
Yes, Alice texted me just now. She appeared to be enraged at me.
That moron. I'm sorry if she said anything bad to you. I told her unequivocally that they would be unable to accompany us. I also instructed her not to contact you again. She also stated that they would be joining us on our vacation whatever. I have no notion what they have in mind.
I believe we'll be all right. They only know we're going on a beach vacation. They have no idea where we're going or what hotel we'll be staying at.
I'm hoping everything will be fine. The truth is, Alice is an expert at utilizing the internet. She constantly stalks people on social media. She's done some really awful things on social media in the past.
That is quite frightening to hear. I had no idea. I guess I should quit posting so much on social media.
Wait a minute. I believe I have discovered a solution to this problem.
What did you discover?
I believe we should no longer conceal facts regarding our vacation. We need to provide them false information. We can set them up with a trap.
A trap? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
We simply have to make sure they don't show up at the same time as us when we're on vacation. We can deceive them about our destination and force them to go somewhere else.
How are we going to do it? It appears to be a challenging task.
I already have a wonderful plan in mind. Are you following Alice on Instagram?
Yes, I believe we are following each other. I don't think I've posted anything about it recently. I'm not even sure if she ever looks at my page.
Alice is probably continually checking your profile to see where you're going. That's exactly the type of person she is.
What happened? Is she following me?
If she is, I wouldn't be surprised. But we can take advantage of this. I want you to post precisely what I instruct you right now.
Are you certain that we should undertake something like this? That would imply that we are fully deceiving your family.
You have nothing to be concerned about. I've had enough of my family treating me this way. My parents obviously prefer Alice's husband and daughter to us. They continue to want money assistance and other assistance from me. I can't take it any longer. It's past time to teach them a lesson. I'm going to cut ties with my entire family if they try to come on our vacation and force us to pay for everything. If that happens, I believe we'll have to move to a different apartment so they don't know where we live. Is it okay if I asked you to look for a new location to live?
Sure, I can do that. But are you certain about this?
Yes, I am certain of this. I've been considering severing relations with my family for some time. I really apologize for involving you in this mess.
It's perfectly fine. Don't be concerned about it.
Hello, Ruby. This restaurant's food is delicious. I believe this is the best dinner I've ever eaten. Guess where we are right now?
I'm sorry, but I don't know where you are.
We're staying in the same hotel as you. This is the restaurant located within the hotel.
What happened? You're staying in the same hotel as we are?
It was far too simple to discover where you were going on vacation. You should not post the name of the hotel where you are staying on Instagram.
So you discovered my location on Instagram? Isn't that like stalking?
What do you mean? We follow each other, therefore it's not stalking. I still can't believe you were stupid enough to publicize the hotel where you're staying. It made my job much easier. You should definitely be extra cautious about what you write on the internet.
So you made a reservation after reading my Instagram post?
Yes, almost. We're currently having the most costly dinner course on the menu. By the way, you're going to pay for all of this. The lodging reservations for the 5 of us came to almost $2,000. I believe the price for this supper will be approximately $1,000 as well. You'll need to pay roughly $3,000. I can't believe we're receiving everything for free.
$3,000? That's a lot of money.
If you had just invited us from the beginning, it would not have been this pricey. This is entirely your fault. You tried to keep us out of this, which is why it was so pricey. If you don't want this to happen again, pay attention to whatever I say from now on.
I can't believe Ryder predicted everything that happened.
What do you mean?
I believe there has been a misunderstanding, so please allow me to clarify. We are not staying at the hotel where you are.
Why are you lying about this? I'd already seen the proof. I came across your Instagram post.
I merely put a picture of the hotel on my Instagram story because I wanted to travel there someday. We're on vacation at another beach resort.
What happened? So you're not staying at this hotel?
We're nowhere near your location. We can't afford to stay at such a pricey hotel either.
Wait a minute. Who is going to foot the bill for all of this? We had just finished the expensive course dinner.
You made the bookings and ate everything, correct? I believe it is obvious who should foot the bill.
We can't afford to pay this exorbitant sum.
That is exactly how we feel. We're not exactly wealthy either. We've wanted to take this vacation for a long time, so we've been saving for it for about a year. We don't have enough money to pay for all 5 of you. We're also under no duty to pay for you.
I told my mother everything. I told her you had duped us. She's furious with you right now. You're in a lot of trouble now.
When things don't go your way, you always resort to your mother. You are now an adult. You should be more self-sufficient. However, there is something I'd like you to tell her on my behalf. Ryder intends to sever ties with all of you.
What did you say? Why would he do such a thing?
He told me that he's had enough of you folks being so cruel to him. What you tried to do to us on this vacation was obviously the final straw. He's furious right now. However, I completely understand how he feels. You booked an expensive hotel and ate at an even more expensive restaurant, and you expect us to pay for it all.
Why isn't Ryder returning my calls? I've already called him 5 times.
He told me he had entirely blocked your phone number. I'm going to do the same thing soon. I have no motive to talk to you now that he has severed contact with you.
But wait. Don't yet block me. I truly apologize for what I said to you. My mother is also sorry for how she treated you. We pledge to treat you better in the future, so please don't desert us. Could you at least pay the $3,000 that we owe the hotel?
Of course it's not possible. Ryder has always been the one to foot the bill for everything. I believe you and your husband should pay for something. I wish you all the best for the rest of your trip. We're having a great time at this beach resort. I'm relieved you're not here with us. Alice attempted to explain the issue to the hotel in order for them to be able to go without having to pay anything. The hotel refused to accept her justifications and demanded the whole fee. Alice's husband ended up paying the $3,000 to the hotel. I can't believe they tried to make Ryder and me pay for them. Alice and her mother sought to get revenge on us after they returned from vacation by paying a visit to our apartment. We were fortunate to have moved out the day before they arrived, so we didn't have to deal with them. Ryder anticipated such an event and kept all information about the company he works for hidden from his family. Alice has also been blocked on all of my social media sites. We were finally out of Ryder's unpleasant and violent relatives. In our new apartment, the three of us are living a tranquil and happy life.